Hello guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my videos. Today for you guys the RELLCoin shop bloodline tier list. Now this tier list is going to show you guys what the bloodlines you should be buying for the RELLCoin shop and what bloodlines you should not be buying. So if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to like and click on more. Let's get right to the video, guys. Alright, so for this tier list, the tiers are actually going to be must buy, get it if you can, maybe buy it, only get for the drip, and do not buy. So these are going to be the tiers for this tier list. So we can start off with Gold Joke. Gold Joke is obviously going to be going in, get it if you can. After the nerfs, it's not nearly as good as it used to be, but it's not really a must buy as it is, but it's a get it if you can. It's probably going to be near the top of get it if you can. Now, even though Minakaze was actually nerfed, it still is a must buy, with Minakaze actually being more important than Minakaze Azure because Minakaze costs less. So when it comes to Minakaze is still a must buy because it still is very broken after the nerfs, and if you can get in the RELLCoin shop, you should, because you got it for basically free. Bankai is going to be going to the bottom of get it if you can. Bankai is actually extremely good, but you most likely spun Bankai before this whole, RELLCoin shop thing happened, so it's not really important to get compared to some of the newer bloodlines, but in case you haven't got it yet, get it if you can. Boramaki Gold is actually going into maybe because Boramaki is actually not a limited bloodline. So when it comes to Boramaki, you kind of want to spin for Boramaki instead of buying it from the RELLCoin shop, because you'd rather use your RELLCoins on something that you cannot get anymore from spinning. Dark Joke is a lot in the same way, but it's actually going to be only get it for drip. I feel like actually Light Joke is significantly worse than it used to be. So if you're going to buy Dark Joke, only get it for the drip. Otherwise, just spin for Light Joke. Next one's going to be Diva Sengokuna. Now, Diva Sengoku is actually going to be going to the bottom of maybe. They're probably going to rebuff Diva Sen because Diva Sen and Diva Ren are actually a lot worse than they used to be. But the reason why it's going to be going into maybe is because Diva Ren is actually quite hard to get, so it's better just to buy the bloodline in most cases. Next up is going to be Dio Senko. Dio Senko is actually going to the top of get it if you can. Dio Senko is actually an extremely good bloodline, and as you guys probably know, you cannot get it from spinning anymore. So usually the get it if you can are going to be the ones that you cannot spin for the normal version of it. So Dio Senko is extremely good, get it if you can. Forge Sengoku is actually going to the top of must buy. If you're a domain spammer, you probably should just not play Shindo Life. But in case you are a domain spammer, you guys probably know Forge is extremely busted right now. Forged is very, very good, and Forged is one of the best bloodlines in the game right now. So it is a must buy, especially if you don't like grinding for KGs. Inferno Karashi is actually going to the bottom of get it if you can. Normal Ghost Karashi is actually not a limited bloodline yet. So when it comes to Inferno Karashi, you can't actually spin for the counterpart, but in case you don't want to spin, in case you're not lucky enough to get it if you can. Jotaro Shizen is obviously going to be going into only get it for the drip. Giovanni Shizen is not really a good bloodline itself, and Jotaro Shizen is just a drip bloodline. Cabra Cobra, Sus Glitch, obviously going to be going to the top of only get it for the drip. If you want to do the Sus Glitch, if you know what that is, get Cabra Cobra for the drip. Now, Kamaki Amethyst is actually going into get it if you can at the very bottom. It's a lot like the other ones. Kamaki is actually not a limited bloodline, it's only the skin is. So in case you haven't spun it yet, in case you're not lucky enough to spin it, in case you don't have enough spins, get it if you can. Naramaki Ruby is actually going into do not buy. I know that Naramaki Ruby is actually like, it's a skin that some people may like, but I feel like it's actually, it doesn't look as good as the original bloodline, and you can spin for the original bloodline still. It is not a limited bloodline. Ryan Sengoku is actually going into do not buy. Ryan Sengoku is going to be going to the bottom of do not buy. Ryan Ren was absolutely nerfed, and Ryan Sengoku actually costs more than Ryan Rengoku. So Ryan Rengoku is going to be going to the bottom of maybe, but Ryan Sengoku is just more expensive than Ryan Ren. It is not worth the cost whatsoever. Now Rengoku is going to be going into the, I'll put it in maybe. I'll probably put it above Ryan Ren on maybe. Nah, it'll go to the top of maybe because you can't get it any other way. But when it comes to Ryan Ren, I feel like it is not nearly as good as the other bloodlines of the game, which is why it's not a get it if you can, because it's just not as good as those bloodlines, but it still is quite a good KG, and you cannot get it any other way. Now next was going to Red Shiki Gold. Red Shiki Gold is obviously going into do not buy, but I'll probably put it to the top of do not buy, since it's, you're more likely to buy it than the other ones. But when it comes to normal Red Shiki right here, normal Red Shiki is actually going into get it if you can. I'm going to put it actually at the very bottom. The only way to get Red Shiki now is by buying it from the RELLCoin shop, and Red Shiki is actually quite a good bloodline, but it's just not, it doesn't compare to some of the other ones. Shizen, I think we all know where this is going. This is going to go into get it if you can. I'm actually going to be putting it above Gold Joke, below Dio Senko. Raiju Shizen has a lot more usefulness when it comes to team fights than Gold Joke and Bankai. So when it comes to team fights, Raiju Shizen is better. Raiju Shizen is also quite good for 1v1s as well, so Raiju Shizen is a pretty solid buy. Raiju Platinum, when it actually comes to the RELLCoin shop, which it probably will here soon within the next update or two, is going to be the top of must buy. Raiju Platinum, Raiju Kenichi is very, very good, very, very busted. Sriracha Gold is actually going into, I'm actually going to put it to the top of do not buy. You can get the original Sriracha still by spinning, and since you can get it by spinning, do not buy these skins. What I'm like, usually if you can get it by spinning, you shouldn't buy the skin unless it's really, really good. And now, so when it comes to Sriracha, it looks like pee, so you're better off just spinning for it. Next up is going to be Shindo Life. Now, Shindo Life is obviously going to the bottom of maybe. The only way you can get it is by spinning, but it is not quite as good as the other KGs. Shindo Ren Yang is obviously going to go into must buy. Grinding for the boss is actually really, really annoying. It took me like 6 hours straight, no breaks whatsoever, to actually get Shindo Ren. So in case you don't want to grind for it, wait for it to be in the shop and pick it up when you can. Tengoku is going to be going into get it if you can. It's going to be going above Inferno Karashi and below Bankai. I believe that you should probably get this if you can, because it is still quite a good KG. It just doesn't compare to the must buys. Anyways, guys, that's actually be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like, please click on more. See you next one, guys. Bye bye.